Well, I'm finally back from the paint store. What a bummer that they didn't get around to mixing the paint yesterday as they promised. But at least I have it now. I'll just stick a sample in the color analyzer, as I always do when I buy paint. Arg. It says that this is closer to light vermilion than the light vermilion that I ordered. This is ridiculous. The incompetence. So, I'm just gonna have to go back to the store tomorrow and get it remixed yet again. Gosh dang it. No. You know what? I'm not gonna do it. I don't care. I just don't give a hoot anymore. I'm tired of the slacker attitudes around here. Those guys can stew in their own mediocrity. I'm just gonna go with the flow from now on. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to bed.
Fred, wake up.
Huh? What's going on? Who are you?
I'm the Ghost of Sedona Future, Fred. I've come to show you what will happen if you eschew your perfectionism.
So you're some sort of fortune teller?
Basically. Let's start with that weather forecaster.
You mean the weather lady who exaggerates so much? Everything is a catastrophe. So you can't tell when the weather really is severe. And my calls to the TV station don't seem to have much effect.
Well, when you stopped calling, the weather lady became so unfettered that your neighbors Dawn and Janine stopped watching the weather forecast in disgust. So they missed when the forecast was really dire, and went hiking in extreme heat.
Ugh.
Suffering from heat stroke, they wandered, dazed, for hours. By the time they found their way home, their frantic dog had destroyed the interior of their newly remodeled home. So you can forget about getting invited to their house for Thanksgiving ever again. They know who stopped calling the TV station. Now let's talk about the road.
Don't get me started on that. I've been on City Hall for years to get a road properly resurfaced.
Eventually the road was resurfaced. But without you to goad them, they didn't do a perfect job. Very good, perhaps. But perfect? No. Unfortunately, in the future, with the cutbacks at the post office, they had to stop delivering packages on streets in anything less than perfect condition. You know how your neighbor Samantha relies on medications delivered by mail? Well, when package delivery stopped, she and Johan had to move back to Green Bay.
Oh, no. When will I ever see them again?
Probably not for a long while. You see, your slacker attitude rubs off on the people around you. When your wife Ethel knitted a pair of Christmas mittens for Samantha, she didn't do as good a job as usual. As a result, when Samantha was driving her daughter to a job interview, she lost control of the car due to the numbness in her hands.
Was anyone hurt?
Fortunately, no. But by the time they dug the car out of the snowbank, her daughter had missed the interview.
I hope that she was able to get another interview.
Nope. That was her last chance. And there was never another job opportunity in Green Bay again. Ever. So she's consigned to a lifetime of poverty and misery. She curses your name every day. Can you summarize that potential housing development, Fred?
I sure can. They are planning on putting a 12-unit medium-density development right behind my house. I'm leading a group of neighbors to lobby against it.
But you stopped putting much effort into the fight, and the developer eventually had his way. The project was constructed and all the units were sold and occupied. And do you know what sort of people move into a medium-density housing project?
Serial killers and madmen.
You got it. So it's no surprise that a madman, experimenting with bomb-making materials, started a fire on the property. Do you remember that hastily erected, heavily padlocked shed at the back of your property?
Yes. I've been storing valuable art that I tracked down from a famous heist years ago. The reward for their return is $10 million, but I've been waiting for the reward to increase before I actually turn them over to authorities.
Too bad, because the fire destroyed the shed and its contents. The artwork has been obliterated, and you won't get a dime for it.
Dagnabbit.
Now it's time to talk about the doctor's situation.
Yeah. All the doctors I've had around here fail to adequately explain my lab tests to me. I really have to hound them. Why can't they just do their job?
In the future, you stopped hounding your latest doctor. So he figured patients didn't want explanations, and stopped even trying to inform patients. Sadly, your neighbor Caroline goes to the same doctor. Her results indicated an increased risk of heart attack. But since she was unaware of that, she failed to take the simple steps that would have saved her life.
You mean?
That's right. Caroline is no longer with us. Finally, there's the Chainsaw Museum competition.
Oh, I'm proud of my nighttime outdoor antique chainsaw museum. I believe it's one of the finest in the world.
Oh, it is one of the finest in the world. Of course, there aren't very many of them. And in the future, you entered your museum into an international competition.
Oh, how'd I do?
Unfortunately, you had neglected maintenance on the lighting system. So when the judges showed up unannounced, they found shortcomings in the lighting that moved you down to second place.
May I ask who came in first?
North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. Not everyone knows he has an outdoor antique chainsaw museum, like yours. He entered on a lark, without expecting to win. When he did win, he came to think he was invincible. This led to him starting World War III.
World War III?
That's right. Of course, there was no way he was going to win a war like that, and the US and its allies took care of him pretty quickly. Only a few 100,000 people ended up dying, actually.
Well, then it hardly qualifies as a world war, does it?
But the North Koreans did manage to fire a nuclear missile aimed at Los Angeles. But the missile designers had been secretly watching American TV, and had been influenced by the drop-in standards that started in Sedona. So they didn't do as good a job designing the missile as they could have. As a result, the missile ended up missing Los Angeles completely.
So Los Angeles wasn't wiped out? Huh. Too bad.
Whatever you think of Los Angeles, you won't like this part. The missile landed in your childhood swimming hole back home, utterly devastating it and the surrounding area. No one will ever swim in that place again.
Oh, no. Not the swimming hole. Most gifted Ghost of Sedona Future, are these terrible things all my fault?
From where I'm standing, it sure looks like it.
Is there anything I can do to prevent this fate?
Your only hope, John, is to insist on perfection in all aspects of your life. If you start now and are adamant in your efforts, you may be able to forestall these disasters. Good luck.
She's gone. But she left me with hope. Never again will I let down my standards.